What's up, everybody? Cole Sands here. So I know I haven't posted anything in a while, but I recently started guiding on Lake Chickamauga, and the reason I did it is because I love helping people become better fishermen, honing certain techniques, and just, I love fishing, and I love people, and I love that interaction. But Chickamauga is one of the hottest lakes in the country right now. It has been for the past few years. And one thing I want to start doing is creating a weekly fishing report. So this is my first one. It is July 26, 2021. And this is something I want to try to do every week. Maybe every Sunday, every Monday, I'm not sure yet. But we'll go ahead and dive into it. There's a lot of different things that are working right now. And it's an interesting time of year. It's kind of a tough time of year. But there's definitely a lot of fish to be caught, and there are certain ways to do it. So with it being late July like it is, a lot of these deep fish are really smart by now. They've been beat up since the first week in May, and you can tell when there's no current, then deep fish are hard to bite. There's still a lot out there, and to catch those fish that are still out there, I've really had to go super finessey. So for that, I'm picking up a drop shot, 1/4 ounce weight. I'm putting on a little tiny worm like a gambler shaky shad. It's something that's super finesse. I like green pumpkin. If you're going to throw a worm, I like a Swebo, red bug. Red bug is always a really good color on the Tennessee River. And besides a drop shot, you can pick up a Cinco style bait, a fat ace. They come in a couple different sizes. This is a 6-inch. I like the 5-inch on a Nico most of the time. 1/8 ounce weight and super light line. There's not a lot of current this time of year. The fish are super pressured. They're super smart. So I've been really, going to very finesse baits to get them fish to bite. Now in the afternoons, if they pull a little bit of current, you can pick up a hair jig or a swim bait and catch a few, but it's that time of year you gotta outsmart the fish. And to do that, I'm going Nico rig, drop shot, maybe a small finesse jig, something like that. And the deep fish are still in the community holes, anywhere from 15 to 25 foot deep. I actually caught some last week in 30 foot. But with that being said, there is a transition happening right now. And that transition, it happens every year, is they start getting in the grass really good. There's fish that are still out deep, but there's a lot of fish piling in the grass every day. Now the problem is this year in Chickamauga, there's not near as much grass as there has been in years past. I know on the low end of the lake, Chester, Frost, Harrison Bay area, there's a very little amount of grass. And what's happening down there, because of the lack of grass, there's a lot of fish to be caught in brush. And that's always a really good pattern when it's hot. So if you're on that low end of the lake, there is some grass, look for it absolutely. If you see it, fish it, but keep that brush honest. And for both grass and brush, I'm throwing a couple different baits. The first is a big ribbon tail. It's a 10-inch gambler ribbon tail and red bug. I'm throwing a 1/4 ounce to a 3/8 ounce weight, just depending on how deep I'm fishing. Very good in brush, very good in grass. Usually in grass I go a little bit of a lighter weight. It just looks really natural. I fish it really slow. We caught some really big fish on that these past 2 weeks. Some 5 and 6 pounders and a lot of them. And that's been a great bait. Fishing through that grass really slow. Another bait, like I said, Chickamauga is a very pressured lake. Another bait that's been really good, throwing it on Texas rig as well in the grass, that same Cinco style bait. For that, I usually go a little bit lighter weight, 1/8 ounce, all the way up to 1/4. But I've also been throwing it on a Nico rig in the grass. And you just kind of got to let it get bogged down in that grass and kind of hop it out, let it fall. Been getting a lot of bites. Now, one of my favorite baits to throw this time of year, hands down, is the Yo-Zuri 3DB pencil popper. And you can tell it's a big, heavy, topwater bait, walk the dog style. The cool thing about this one is a couple things. One, a lot of pencil poppers, they'll sit in the water like that, so they're not level. This one, it sits flat, which I really like. I feel like when they blow up on it, you get a lot better hook set, you hook them a lot better. And the other thing is it's an internal paint design. So you can catch 300 fish on that bait and it's still gonna look just as new as it did before. And you can tell it's a really translucent gizzard shad color. The water right now is really clear on the lake for the most part, so I've been throwing more of a translucent color and catching a lot of fish. Lastly, it's a bait that gets overlooked a lot this time of year. That is a jerk bait. And that's the new jerk bait Yo-Zuri came out with this year. And it's a fish catcher. A lot of people think jerk bait fishing is only for the spring and winter time, but it's actually just as good in grass. I'm throwing it out there with 15-pound Yozuri T7 line. I'm ripping it down in the grass and then I'm snapping it out. Rip it down, snap it out, and it'll catch fish. You know, it's something that not everybody else is throwing, and it'll definitely get you a lot of bites. Now, as you transition upriver right now, mid-lake, there's a little bit of grass. Upriver from Dayton on, there's a pretty good bit of grass. But what I've noticed up there, the best grass is still main lake. Creek mouse, stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of fish in the creeks yet. There's still a lot, don't get me wrong, but there's not a ton. But as fall approaches, you'll see a big wave of fish move back. The bait's already back there, and the bass are slowly trickling back, but you'll definitely see that transition. So right now, focus on main lake, focus on fishing your strengths. Chickamauga is a very diverse lake. You can fish brush, you can fish grass, and you can fish deep and be successful in any of them this time of year. So fish your strengths, do whatever you feel comfortable with. I would recommend staying off the bank a little bit, unless you're looking for brim beds or something like that. But, you know, do whatever you feel most comfortable with. Keep some of these baits in your hand that I just mentioned, and I think you'll be successful. Thanks, guys. I'll try to do one of these every week. And if y'all have any questions, just leave them in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe. I appreciate y'all. And if you want to go on a fishing trip, hit me up. Look me up on Facebook, Cole Sands Fishing. And thank y'all for your time.